What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Lifestyle Athletics YouTube channel. Today I have a special one for you guys. Today we're going to be working on some acceleration. So I'm going to be showing you guys my top 6 exercises I use in my training to improve my acceleration, which in turn helps me to sprint faster. So without further ado, guys, let's go. Disclaimer, guys, I warmed up before I started all of these drills. So for my warm-up today, I did 2-lap jog slow, and then I did 4 times 50-meter strides, each one progressively faster. Then I did some dynamic stretches, and then I did 2 of each sprint drill. So I did A skips, B skips, and C skips, and that's all I did. So without further ado, guys, let's go. First exercise I have here is some cycling, and the reason why I like the cycling is because it reinforces dorsiflexion. So what I'm trying to do is prep my body for acceleration, right? And dorsiflexion is very important when it comes down to acceleration, because that's how you get proper ground contact. So what I want is toes hitting the top of my shoe, and I want to be hitting the ground with the ball of my foot, and I want to cycle. Right? If you're doing this right, it should feel almost like you're clawing the ground behind you, right? And that's what happens when you're in acceleration, right? And I would do this exercise for 15 seconds. I'm focused on quick ground contact, trying to put my foot down quickly, right? And I want to be hitting the ground with mid foot, just like that. Trying to claw the ground behind me and drive my knees up. And I would do this for 10 to 15 seconds at a time. And that right there is the exercise that I would start with when I'm getting into a day where I'm focused on acceleration, right? So let's move on to number 2. Number 2 exercise we're focusing on here is the arm swing. So first we got the feet involved, now we're getting the upper body involved with the arm swings. So what I want to do is almost get into that same position that I would be in when I'm in my acceleration, right? And what I want to do in this position is load that front foot, and these would be preferably be done on command. But if you're by yourself, you just put a timer on, and all you're trying to do is stabilize yourself and get the elbows passing the body. Elbows passing the body. So look, if I come out of my acceleration and I get up, I don't have to change my arm swings. My arm swings are still the same. So watch me again. Down, down, down. I'm here. Low, low, low. Push, push. And I will do this for 10 to 15 seconds, and watch when I come up. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Elbows passing the body, and I'm doing the same thing. Just like that. And all I'm trying to do is here, warm up the shoulders, prep myself to sprint fast. Just like that, and come back. But once I'm in this position, what I'm trying to do is maintain this position, load this front foot, and get the elbows passing the body, right? So if I come out of this position and I come up, it's the same thing. Back down, it's the same thing, right? And what you want to do in this position, what I'm trying to tell myself is elbows passing the body with each swing, right? So I don't have to change this when I come back up. And that right there is number 2 in how I would progress acceleration drills. Now let's move into number 3. Next exercise I'm getting into here is some switches. So we're gonna start with switch and pause first. And again, with this exercise, what I'm focused on doing is switching and pausing. What I want to do is drive my knee and stiffen up that leg at the back, and I don't want my toe pointing down, right? Toes up and switch, 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 switch. When I'm holding this position, at no point do I want, if I pause, I don't want my toe going down, right? So I don't want to see this, right? It even feels weird if you're not hitting the ground with that mid foot. And then this is perfect to teach dorsiflexion, teaching you how to drive that knee forward, engage the hip, and push. And you want to pause with each one, Pause with each one. Pause. We're not trying to look up. Neutral head position. Push and push. And that will be number 3 in how I will set up the acceleration training. So let's move on to the next exercise, guys. Fun fact, all of these exercises can be used whether you're a soccer player, football player, whatever sport you do where you have to move off a start line fast, or you have to go from one point to another fast. These exercises are great for priming you to move faster. So this position right here, right, very important when you're in your acceleration, because watch what happens when my foot, and I drive my knee forward. I never at any point want that foot leaving from under my knee. So I shouldn't be driving my foot forward and then braking, putting my foot forward, because what happens when I put my foot forward is I put the brakes on, right? What I want is I want my feet under my knee and push back, push back, push. So if I pause, look, you see what happens when I pause? I could put the foot down and push forward. But if I pause and my foot is too far forward in the front, I'm standing up, right? Those are the little things you have to pay attention to with younger athletes, even older athletes, because we all make that same mistake to rush the acceleration instead of focusing on the phases to get the most out of your acceleration. So let's move on to the next exercise. Next exercise I'm doing here is a 3-point bound. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm in a 3-point position, right? And I want to push out of this position and go right into bounding. So this is what it should look like. So again, I'm holding the 3-point position, right? And what this is teaching me how to do is push out of the ground, push from away from it, push the ground behind me, and teaching me how to push forward, right? Because most people pick their heel up when they get out, when they're in their acceleration. And what I'm trying to do is put my foot back down in the ground and push forward. So I go 3-point and then into my bounce. So this is a very crucial one. If you can master this movement and stay patient with yourself in the beginning of your acceleration, you can maximize on your acceleration and then run faster, right? Because the more patient you are in your acceleration and going through your phases and actually pushing and driving, staying low, keeping those angles, it makes top end speed, maximum velocity. When you hit top end speed, you actually sprint way faster. So let's move on to the next one. Most people, when they're in this position, right, they're thinking about rushing this and turning overs, quick turnovers to go as fast as they can. And instead, you should be trying to focus on power and explosiveness and being patient, right? So watch me again. All right, now we're getting more into the fun stuff. So the next one I'm doing here is a crouch start. Again, guys, this is really important when it comes down to teaching an athlete how to push in the beginning. So that's all you're doing in your acceleration. You're trying to push in the beginning and be as explosive as possible. Patience is the key. So again, my start line is here. Whatever my dominant leg is, I put it at the front, right? And what I'm trying to do is sprint out, but focusing more on low heel recovery, pushing with each step and not picking my heel up too much. So right here, and again, the goal here is power, right? So I set my crouch position, right? And what I want to do is stay patient and focus on pushing away from the ground behind me, driving my knees forward. So here, and again, guys, you'll see all types of things out there about how to improve acceleration. But one of the tried and true methods of improving your acceleration is actually setting the distance of where acceleration zone is, which is between 10 to 20 meters, most elite athletes can accelerate from between 20 to 25 meters. The really super fast guys can hold it a little bit longer to about 30 meters, but you have to set that distance and actually run that distance, push out that distance, and focus on the angles in order to improve your acceleration. So let's move on to the next exercise. So the next one we're getting into here is a 3-point start. This is one of my all-time faves. If you're an athlete who struggles with your acceleration, master this exercise. Combine all the rest of the exercises, but master this one before, and you'll see most results. So what I'm gonna do is set my position, right? So both lines, my start line is here. And what I want to do, whatever my dominant leg is, I step back, and then I get on the heel, then on the toes, right? A lot of people say put your dominant leg at the back. I prefer my dominant leg at the front. So what I want to do is hold this position, right? And what I want my shoulders going down the track. I want to load that front foot especially. And again, I'm focused on power and explosiveness, not speed. So from here, so last one I'm doing here is a 4-point start. So 4-point start is essentially when both hands are on the ground. 3-point is when one hand is on the ground. So this is what it should look like. You will set it up just like how you would set up your 3-point start. So 1, 2, heel, toe, right, down, and this is where I want to be. Right, so when I get to this position, this is the 4-point start. Well, technically this is 5 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But to get to 4-point, I just raise that knee up. So now I'm at 4-point, and then from here, I'm doing the same thing. All I'm trying to do is focus on power and push away from the ground behind me. Again, guys, the goal is power and explosiveness, not just being not quick feet, not trying to turn over as quick as possible. That's the go-to when most people get into that 4-point position or working on acceleration. They're thinking about just being quick with the turnovers. I want you guys to try and focus more on power and pushing away from the ground behind you. Alright guys, and just like that, another Lifestyle Athletics YouTube video is complete. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I'm coming to you guys with more informative videos. We're on this push for 50,000 subscribers by the end of summer. You guys come along with me. I'm going to be sharing the journey. I'm in preparation for my 3rd Olympics right now. So everything that you're seeing are things that I implement in my training to get the most out of my training. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Lifestyle Athletics here, Rockstar Kato, and we're out.